We are stuck in the mud. Stuck, stuck, stuck. We're stuck in the mud, and this guy decided to check us out. He's on the window. Ah! The big one. It's probably about 6 inches. Oh, there he goes. All right, they're getting ready to pull us out. Let's see what happens. I have to stay in the truck because I don't have the right shoes on. Welcome back to Copperline Rattler Ranch. I'm Julia. Last video about the build, I said we were looking to get quite a bit more rain, and we only ended up with probably about at most an inch with all that combined. I'll have to take a look at my records and see exactly. So I don't think we're going to make that 20-inch rainfall for a monsoon this year, but it still exceeds what we normally get for a monsoon. Could be global warming, probably. That's what everybody's saying. We'll just, it's just frustrating. Anyway, hopefully everything's drying out. I'm working on some of the lime plaster on the outside, getting the base coat of lime plaster on everything, and then I'll do a second coat. It's going to take a while, and it's just more plastering. I showed you that first batch that we did, and I'm having great success with that. Just having to keep in mind when the sand that I'm using is dry versus the sand that I'm using is a little bit wet. So that's where we're at. I'll show you some of what I've done already outside. Well, you can't see it because I'm working under the steps. So here's what I've been working on as far as the first coat of lime plaster goes. I'm decided to work under here for a couple reasons. It's nice and cool in the shade, and this shade provides that slowdown of curing on the plaster. So that's where I'm at, and I'm going to keep moving on. So I did go ahead, as you know, you do the scratch on this so that that next coat will adhere. After the second coat goes on, we will be doing the lime wash, which will help with weather resistance. It's nice and solid, and I'm very pleased that it's actually easy to work with. I like it. I'm trying to get things smoothed out before I do the scratch so that there's a nice even layer of everything. It's not perfect. It won't ever be perfect, but I'm trying to get it as smooth as possible so that it'll look as good as possible. Well, I've been working on all the plastering and mudding and everything. Dawn's been working on some of the plumbing. This is our tankless water heater that we bought from a big box store. It was actually on sale because it was a return special order, or that's what we were told. So he is going to cover the water lines and that electrical line with a cover that will be insulated to help protect it from the weather. We do get down below freezing in the winter time, so that does need to be protected. Dawn has gotten quite a bit of this ready. The only thing that we haven't done is we're still waiting for the shower valve. We've got that on order, and it should be here in the next day or two, and that's when Dawn will put the connection from the shower from these main water lines to the shower. And that's up here. That crossbar is where the shower head will be, and then a little bit lower will be where the shower valves will be. So that's the shower drain. He did put all the electrical lines up above the water lines, which is really what you should do because you don't want any leaks to get into any of the electrical at all. And water can do some pretty funny things. The boys are inspecting with me today. Over here, we can see he's got everything hooked up and ready for the bathroom sink. That bottom hole is for the drain. And that drain will connect with this first smaller pipe that will act as the drain as well as the vent pipe. There's our little manifold. We still have the shower cold water to connect to that yet. So the way this is going on this manifold, the bottom blue PEX is where the water is going to be supplied to the hot water heater. The next blue PEX will go to the shower for cold. The space above that will go to the toilet, and the top space is going over here to the sink. So we did it in that fashion so that it would be easy to remember. I don't know, he may still plan on labeling all those so that if anything does happen, we can remember or know which goes where, or if somebody else has to get in there. But this white pipe is our main water coming in. And we had that in place before we did the build. We are going to put an access panel on the bedroom side of the drywall, which is the side that we're looking at from, so that if anything were to happen, hang on. What are you doing? Why are you chewing on that? Anyway, he's planning on putting an access panel on the bedroom side. We'll cover it with of course, a panel door of sorts. And then this is probably an area where we'll have a dresser or an armoire. And then also, he's planning on putting an access panel on this side in the bedroom for the shower, for shower access. So if anything happens again, we can easily access the plumbing that goes to the shower. So, and again, that'll be, have a little type of a door, and then also we'll have some furniture, you know, a armoire or dresser or the like, hiding that in here as well. So that's what he's been up to, along with the water heater. He's also got to do a lot of work on improving our road. Hickman Road needs a little bit of work from the monsoon. It doesn't get as bad as some of the other roads because it's just us and, you know, delivery drivers driving on it. But it still needs some attention. And then he's also been trying to take care of a lot of the weeds, mitigate some of those to help keep a lot of those stickers. A lot of the weeds we have have stickers on them. It just is insane. So anyway, I'm going to get back to the plastering. Let me show you what I've gotten done so far. Here is everything I've gotten done so far. This has taken me several days just because of the threat, mostly of rain. We did get rain one of the days I was working on this, but this is covered with these steps and the step landing. Everything is drying up nicely and very minimal on cracking. Nothing has sloughed. Nothing has fallen off. It's great. I am loving this. I really wish I had not been so afraid to do this before, because it may have saved us a lot of heartache had we done something like this a long time ago from the start. This is just a scratch coat. You can see I've been scratching. I got to order a scratch tool. This is just done with a rake. And I'm not crazy about using the rake because the handle's too long. But I've got a scratch tool on order. Hopefully it'll be here in a week or so. So I'll be able to do it a little more professionally, if you will. A lot of work to go. This is just a small portion. We've got a big house. So I got to take this down, our water prevention, because we're pretty confident that we're not going to get any more rain. Knock on lime plaster. And so I'm going to take this down today and see how that goes. But now I'm going to go ahead and take this down. I'm going to release these pallets because they are screwed into that tarp. And then I'm going to go up top and take the tarp down. I don't want to take the tarp down on the top first because those are really suspended, the pallets are. And I just don't want it to do any more damage than it's already been done. Okay, on to more plastering. As I'm getting ready to mix some more lime. For starters, I was mixing it in the wheelbarrow, That was going along okay, and I did get one of those extra. Let me show you. I did buy one of these mason hose because they have the holes in them. It's easier for you to mix all those dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. It just does a better job at mixing. This is a short one. They do have longer ones. It really wasn't that expensive, about $23 at a big box store. So, and it worked great. But then I was thinking, why am I not using the mixer? So I went ahead and did a batch with the mixer, and it turned out really good. A little less effort on my part, a little quicker. It mixes the dry ingredients quicker, and it mixes the wet when you put the water in there quicker. So it's just a little bit faster process. So I'm going to be using this from now on, unless I have to do like a small batch. I may do small batch when I get to the outside of the bottle window, because that's going to be kind of tedious and I don't want it to dry out too fast. But that'll be a little ways down the road. So right now I'm going to be taking this wrap off because I wrapped it up in case we got rain. And one other thing too, I had made a comment about purists, people who believe that, you know, if you're going to do this kind of build, you're going to do it all the way. And I think that we probably would be doing that if we were, number one, a lot younger, and had realized how much time it actually takes. Now, we did lose about 10 months of time because of that wall collapse that we had, but still, it still takes quite a bit of time. And like I said, if we were younger, we'd probably do everything as naturally as possible. We'd do the, you know, probably do the boiled linseed oil in the outside, and, you know, have all of our buildings be earth bag or some sort of natural build. Where's the end of that? Our powerhouse that we keep all of our solar equipment in, the inverters, all that stuff, the batteries, everything, is all in a shed that we bought pre-made. And then also the laundry, because we wanted to get that up and going and didn't want to have to go to the laundromat every week. That is also a shed. Right now it's also housing a lot of kitchen items, and it's also housing kind of like a little pantry area. I know if you've looked back, way back in the earlier videos, you'll see one where I'm actually just straightening up that pantry. It needs it again. But anyway, we were, or at least I was at one point, believing that we should do everything as naturally as possible. And I'm not knocking people who want to stay true to all that. That's their prerogative. But this is the kind of build that we do on our own, that everybody is doing something of their own choosing, something of their own design. And I think we can actually learn from everybody when we're doing these. I know that when I watch videos, for example, my little homestead a long time ago had a wall collapse, or I don't think it completely collapsed. It came close to collapsing, and we watched that video when our wall collapsed to see what kinds of things we could do to help with everything that was left, that we could stabilize that wall. So we learned something from them, and hopefully our repairs on our wall when it collapsed has been providing some information to anybody else who has that kind of a problem. But, you know, if you can afford those expensive limes and can wait for those expensive limes and handle those, go for it. I'm just saying this is a better way for us because it's readily available. I don't have to have it shipped from God knows where. And I don't have to worry. For example, like quicklime is rather dangerous. And, you know, we have animals and we have grandchildren that come to visit and friends that visit. And I don't want anything that could possibly harm them in any way available. So this is better. I know the first couple times I showed you that I was mixing this in the wheelbarrow, I did not mix it with a mask on, but I'm going to be wearing a mask from now on. It's just still kind of a dangerous product to have right in your lungs. So anyway, that's where I'm standing. So I'm going to be mixing everything in the mixer. Makes a far better batch than mixing it, for me, than mixing it in the wheelbarrow, and goes a lot quicker. So we had a friend who asked why we don't see Donald in the videos as much as you do me, my beautiful face. And that's because he doesn't like to be on camera. He doesn't like to be in the videos. I can coax him, like when he does things on the solar system, things like that. I can kind of coax him to do a little bit, but he really just does not like to be in the videos, and I have to respect that. But also, he has been kind of dealing with a family member in Tucson who is not in the best of health, and he will be intermittently away on occasion, tending to that family member's needs, that kind of thing, when other family members aren't available. So he will drive the 2 hours to Tucson to take care of his family member and assure that there's safety in all areas of that person's life. He needs to be with this family member at this time when it's really necessary to be there. Anyway, that's why you don't see him in the videos, except maybe a fleeting movement in the background. He just does not like the way he appears on videos, which I'm not sure why. He looks great, I think, in the videos, but that's his preference. And I'm just a big, loudmouth, I guess, maybe. So anyway, that's why you don't see him as often. So that's our story, I guess. So I hope you enjoy the videos that we're making. Let me know if there's certain things that you might be interested in. Someone had asked, and I can't remember who it was, had asked if we could do some videos about the surrounding nature, and because it is beautiful out here. We have mountains all around us. We're in a great big valley out here. When we get a moment to go someplace, that we'll certainly take some video. We do like to occasionally go up to the mountains and do some little baby hikes, nothing too tremendous. But we do like to do that kind of thing. There's a river nearby. Right now it's pretty muddy because of the monsoon rains, but we do go there. In an older video you saw us take my son and his daughter and wife there for a little visit, and that was delightful. It was so beautiful. But we may do that again, take you down there and show you a little bit more of that river. It can be quite lovely. Just a nice little refreshing change from this, no trees kind of area here, because there's a lot of trees by rivers. So we might do that. We'll try and do that, keep that in mind for a future video, not guaranteeing when that might be. Because we just want to keep going on this house, maybe quite a while, but we'll do our best to get one of those made. If you have any other suggestions for things that you might want to see, let me know in the comments section, or you can let me know on the Facebook page. It's also Copperline Rattler Ranch. Either way, the Facebook page or the comment sections of the videos, and I'll certainly take those under consideration and see what we can do about presenting some other material for you, something that you might like to see. So I think that's going to finish this video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like the video, share it, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.